I'm going to walk through my successful run of the Mega-Splime, beating the secret level as well. Okay, so definitely spoilers here if you haven't yet played and want to just check it out yourself. But I'm gearing this video towards those who are trying to beat the secret level. It's really challenging. So what you're dealing with is on the map, and this is I recorded this previously, so we'll be able to kind of just do a play-by-play, and it's an hour 50 the full run, and I'll just be able to jump ahead to certain key spots here. But if we look at if I can get to the point on the map, let me find a spot here. Okay, that's the last level, so let's rip it back. Okay, so when you're on the map here, when you beat a level and you do not get hurt, okay, so you go into that level with 100 HP and you get out of that level with 100 HP, a wild ranger appears and essentially rewards you. Okay, so you'll see little divergent paths like here and here, and you always want to go on that path. They'll give you a fragment or an artifact, and that will give you energy back when you plant certain types of infusions. Okay, the first time you meet them, you get a key, and it kind of stinks because it handicaps you even more, where you have one less energy per wave. Okay, but the artifacts kind of make up for that to some degree. The artifacts you get are random. All right, and then if you go into a battle, get hurt, if you come out of that, Wild Ranger will not appear. There are points where you can heal, these little blue guys, these blue tiles, where you can heal your infusion. And so that can get you back to 100 HP. And if you go into the next run with that 100, come out with 100, Wild Ranger will appear to you again. However, to get to the secret level, you have to, at least from my experience, you have to do everything without getting hurt. Okay, so if you're gunning for the secret level, really, unless you want the extra practice for subsequent levels, I was always just ending the attempt completely. So the moment I took a hit, it's like, well, okay, I'm not getting the secret level, so I just would restart, and that can be frustrating because you have to go through flawlessly. By the time you get to the secret level, you can take hits at that point. I haven't seen anyone do it 100%. The entire thing. I think that would be pretty difficult. It's already really hard to do this, but so there's a little bit of relief when you get to this final level. Like, okay, you can take a little bit of a hit. Now, granted, if you take a hit on a wave, you're not going to get that extra radiance, so that's certainly a bit brutal. If you take a ton of damage, there are thresholds by which I think it's like 50 HP or something. Like there's thresholds where if your harvester gets damaged to a certain point, you'll get kind of a concession. They'll give you a radiance because you're hurting a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna walk through my how I approach each level. So if you're struggling with like not getting hurt for a particular level, I'll provide some pointers on what I did in this attempt. We'll also look at a previous attempt I did where I felt very strong throughout, but then the last level I lost on the final wave. But I felt like it was a solid setup for every preceding level. If you're just really interested in the final, like tips on the final battle, I'll show various approaches that others in the community have taken to beat it. I'll also show you things that didn't work, either from myself or from others, and hopefully that can start to inform you when you are doing your own blight cleansings, what you can do. All right, so let's get started here. So I'm going to be scrubbing around. Okay, so first level, let me just back to, oops, my selections. Okay, so I always go with, I'm kind of doing this on faster time here. Let me slow down for a sec. I always go with Gerburu. That's, wow, such a quick screen. There we go. Okay, so I've been most successful getting to the end with Gerbrew. Looking at others in the community, that tends to be the choice as well. Fruity, the designer at Amihan, got to the end with a Rugi, which I'm very impressed by. I got one hit away from getting to the secret level with a Rugi, which was brutal because I did want to try that. So there's certainly strategies that could be done with all 3 companions. I don't know if I've seen a Honey Bear one. We'll take a look at some screenshots in a bit on different attempts. Yeah, it's mostly been Gerbrew, and I've seen a Rugi from Fruity, but Honey Bear, I guess, could be. I've struggled to get far with Honey Bear because I think the Blight Cleansings are really compensated. They're balanced with Gerbrew, so if you get a bad Blight Cleansing, Gerbrew can kind of clean up the holes. So I've always gone with Gerbrew, and I recommend Gerbrew if you're trying to consistently get to the secret level. All right, now I'm going for this approach here. What I've been going for, what I was going for was a shock stock. I was playing around with the effect where they have conductor, and they conduct their electricity through wet soil, not just water. So this is my, I think, 5th attempt or 5th time getting to the secret level. And it was the first time I really was heavy on shock stock, but I kind of noticed that because I was looking at some of the others in the community. This was Fruity's victory. Fruity had 3 shock stocks, highly leveled, and I was like, maybe there's something there. And then this one did not. That was a victory. That was I might be mispronouncing the name, but Dariel. And then I noticed on I don't speak Japanese. The Google Translate's telling me that's Victor in English, so I'll just refer to this individual as Victor. If that's incorrect, I apologize. But Victor had 1 level 5 shock stock and a level 1. But I was like, okay, well, level 5 shock stocks, like, they might help clean up some of the riffraff. So I was pretty intrigued by that, and so I was focusing on that for this run. I also wanted a blast sword. Blast swords, I think, are essential. If you look at those who are victorious, there's 3 level 5 blast swords that were used by Victor there, and then 2 level 1s. If we look at this one's actually a loss though, so it's pretty interesting. This was also from Victor, and Victor had 2 level 5s, 2 level 4s, and a level 1. Didn't win this one. I think they told me that the enemies got through on the right hand side. That first Mega-Splime is brutal, and we'll talk about that. And this was Dariel's victory. 3 level 5 blast swords and a level 3. Okay. And pretty heavy on the left side. And you can see the splash. They're all going for splash there too. That's a key thing. So that is extremely powerful every time. Okay, now again, this was a defeated one, but for the victories, there was splash. And this is Fruity. You can see splash, splash. Level 5, level 2, level 3, level 5 down here as well. So you can see the consistent trend is that, and the team's acknowledged, like, yeah, Blast Sword's kind of the winner here. It's very key for this run. Okay, so I was also doing Blast Sword. Dreadwood, super powerful for like helping clean up. You could also go with a Muscle Branch approach, but those are really good for like the high HP enemies. I'm gonna do typically a Dark Creeper. I didn't go with one initially here, but at some point you're gonna want a Dark Creeper. I was getting pretty experimental here. For this level, I tend to always go with the, if I get a Blight Cleansing here, I will take that. Let me speed this up a little bit. But I think I'll see something a little more creative here. I tend to, yeah, it was getting pretty, I was just like, I was getting so sick of waiting for these Blight brutes to walk all the way around. So I'm actually leaving this open. And then the Blast Sword here is pretty cool, but what's kind of neat about this approach is you can use Gerbrew to push them into the magma, and then this Blast Sword can actually do some damage up here. But I was playing around with like, well, I want to make sure Gerbrew is like actively involved. So it's kind of a wonky setup, but I was just trying to like set this up in a different way. I'll show you in my other recording how I approach this level. Okay, but now I'm trying to route them. I ultimately want to get them like that to go all the way around. Because I'm going with the shock stock, the conductor approach, where I need to get blight cleansed and I need to water the soil, and his attack will hurt everybody on the wet soil. If there's also bodies of water, like little stream tiles, it all is considered one big body of water. So it's really neat. I've also found just leveling up, like when you can, is so vital. If you can get a Tema in there as well, you're gonna get that extra energy on that level up. So that's a really helpful technique. Now, Gerbu's a beast. If you have Gerbu on Magma, he actually clears out quite a lot. He won't be able to clear out big guys, but he's quite helpful. Okay, now I'm just beefing up here. You can see I cleansed. So all of this, I'm trying to get another cleansing somewhere. There is, I could put Tema there, but it wouldn't really be that worthwhile because there's no more waves. But I am trying to weigh out getting a Tema here to boost my Gerberus. You can see I'm going for the companionship. So Gerberus now doing double damage. I'm not doing this with the Dark Creeper. So I think this one actually gets pretty close. Because again, I was just being a bit bold here. I was really just, no, they took care of the brutes. Okay, I had a run that was super close. But this must have been one of the follow-up ones where I felt a lot better about it. You can see they're walking on there. If I just back that up a bit, this guy gets pretty far in. But when he hits, he's a random attacker, and that's the tricky part. Because you can't really dictate who he's going to hit. So that's the scary part of a shock stock, is they're kind of erratic. And so ideally, their entire range is like a big body of water. So it's hitting everybody, every enemy. Because I've been in situations where I have like a nice patch, but I distracted him and he's hitting some other side or some other stream of enemies, and he's not hitting where I kind of want him to, and it's out of my control. I've lost because of that. So it's a risky choice, but yeah, I'm just showing you the full run that I ended up being successful. So now I'm trying to go for, okay, I want some slow enemies. They didn't give me any Blastwort, or sorry, any shock stock options here. So I was like, well, and I actually lost. Let's go rewind that, because I kind of zipped right by that. But I believe I lost my shock stock. Okay, so that's where you get the rusty key. Yes, I lost Blastwort and shock stock, and I'm like, what? So I got Blastwort back, and then I'm like, well, I don't have a shock stock. I guess I'll do a Dreadwood, and then I'll do some slow guys. Because I think going into the last battle, I found it helpful to have like a slow guy on each side. And if we look at some of the setups from the others that were victorious, so what I find fascinating is Fruity didn't have any slowdown. There's an ice thing here that's pretty cool. 3 of the thing, that's really nice. I also had an ice in my left-hand side when I won. That saved me, frankly. But I generally found it helpful to have a slowdown character, because if the Mega-Splime is actually pretty fast, and if you don't slow him down, he actually moves pretty quickly. Look at others. So this was Dario's victory. Got a level 4 Ice Thistle here, level 1 on the left, and a Sapweed. Okay. This was where Victor was defeated. 2 level 1 Ice Thistles. Okay, so I think the right idea. But for some reason that didn't work out. And then this one is Victor's victory. All right, so a level 1 and level 2. So hope you're seeing kind of the patterns of like what's worked. Splash Radius Blastworts. You get some slowdown guys. You get Dark Creepers. Dark Creepers are a staple here. You'll see every time there's a Dark Creeper on every single one of these. Okay, so Fruity had 1 with a let's see. I'm trying to remember the icons. I believe this one is, I believe the yellow one here is Danger Zone. So Danger Zone and then +2. What worked for me was this spot's really cool because it's open, so you can plant Dark Creeper on the tile here, and they did the same thing here and spread. And this one's actually interesting because it's just purely range, and that's the approach I took as well. Because if you have enough muscle on the right hand side, now this was the defeat, but I took the tip to heart because this one did work. So I was like, okay, well, this is cool. You can put a Dark Creeper here. You don't have to worry about watering So it's perfect for this type of tile. And just get that range out. If you have enough muscle on the right-hand side, meaning dreadwoods and muscle branches, you don't need the armor. That's only sparing 10 damage. Now, it is a pretty significant resistance for weaker guys, but for dreadwoods and muscle branches, it's not that much of a difference. Okay. I'm kind of debating like what to do here. So I went with the nice thistle. I've done both maps here on that split. I've found this one to be more consistently successful. I always put a blastwort here. I've never had him fail me. I tend to support him with other stuff, whether there's an Aquafern here or Gerberu in the beginning. I tend to have Gerberu hang out for every other wave down here. But I do like putting this thing here. Let me just pause for a second. I do like to put the corn pile here. It's a small thing, but it shoves them to the left. I've also done shock stock here sometimes, but again, he'll randomly attack, and it's not going to be splashed because this is all, you can't water this. So I've found blastwort to be absolutely best here. Just beef him up, get him watered early. You can see how I'm doing the Tema here as well. If you get that, you're going to get that extra energy. So because you just took that key, now I'll be at 6 out of 6, and that's huge. I'll then take a Blight Cleansing here. If it's a really terrible one or nothing here, I'll just kind of hang out here for wave 2. But at some point, I found it helpful to clear here and then have these guys kind of wrap around this way. So that's what I'm kind of debating right now. You have to anticipate Blight Brutes coming out of here, wave 3 and 4. Okay, so you do want something strong, whether it's your Gerberu getting beefed up with a quadruple damage, meaning Companionship and Dark Creeper. Could do that. But these guys are sneaky too, so Dread was one-shotting them, which is awesome, but when it gets a little stuffy, I have to be careful here. I'm kind of jumping between the two, and it's a little scary. Like, I almost lost right there. And I was like, I still wasn't sure about Blastwort, but he's holding down the fort. But yeah, I almost lost there. So those one little mistake, you slip up and you got to restart. So it can be quite frustrating. I was debating. I gave him the, what did I end up giving him? What did I give Dreadwood? I didn't see what I did there. So I gave Blastwort Splash. I did the double damage threshold increased because I was acknowledging that he's going to encounter some people right away. Like, he'll be the first point of contact. Okay, so I'm kind of like, well, I don't know, I might do that, but I think I ended up going with the Companionship. And maybe the Ice Thistle, they can prioritize the unfrozen enemies, which is really neat. Double Dreadwood, gonna be really nice for the Blight Brutes. I went for the energy so I can get that extra watering in, because again, I'm trying to buff up Blastwort, and then I went for the attacks prefer non-frozen, just in case anything sneaks by here. We want to make sure they're frozen. I'm trying to get Gerberu somewhere else, but I got to keep them blocking this here. There's nothing coming through this way, the top row this time, so I was able to get rid of the corn pile here, so I can have Gerberu more involved in the fight. Oh. Apparently I lost that one. I didn't realize I didn't realize I had made this 2 recordings. That's hilarious. That's really funny. Yeah. So there you go. But I mean, strategy wise, it was all sound. I think I'm just going to be going for the same thing again. We'll just kind of speed this up even faster. We'll see if I do a different strategy or not. Yeah, I was getting like a little impatient here. So I was just like, I'm just not cleansing Blight. I'm going to put those there again. But look at Gerberu. I mean, he cleans house by himself with the magma pile. So I'm going, I just jacked up Shock Stock. I'm forcing them to go around. So if you're impatient with those Blight Brutes going all the way around, I've done that approach too, where I block this whole wall here, and the Blight Brutes all walk all the way around. It's very successful, but you literally wait like 45 seconds for them. It's hilarious. So you can see I cleansed in the rocks underneath. But yeah, I'm just jacking up this area. And look at this. This is actually a really cool setup because all of this is splash. So you can see Shockstock just cleaning house. Like Thorny's barely involved there. It's insane. It's amazing. The only downside is, let me if I go back real quick. He's also hitting here. And if he's hitting a guy here, it's not actually hitting everyone up here. Okay, it's only when he hits somebody on the wet soil that it conducts through. Okay, if you see someone on dry soil, it's not able to conduct. Gerber and Shockstock clean up the Blade Brutes pretty much on their own. There's a little bit of double damage here in this one. So that's why I changed my setup here, I think, compared to the last run. I did, let me just see what I did there. Okay, I lost Shockstock and Tema. So it's gunning for me not to have Shockstock, but at least they gave me a Shockstock here again. And then I do a Tema. I might do another Blast Wort. Yeah, so I got picked up, and I'm going with Thornies this time. I mean, I might lose on this one again too, by the way. I don't know, but I think it's hopefully helpful to see how I'm kind of just trying different things. Okay, so again, Blast Wort here and Tema. If I can do that, I'm gonna do that all day. That's been extremely reliable. And then I gotta see where my Blight Cleansings are. So I got some good ones here. I'll probably pick one of those. There we go. And then I'm getting Dark Creeper involved because we saw how that punished me last time, and I was like, nope, not happening this time. I'm gonna punish them. You don't need double damage up here. I wouldn't extend up Dark Creeper that far. Yeah, Blast Wort cleans house up top. Double damage makes it so much easier. I'm not even going with Dreadwood right now. I think I don't even have Dreadwoods. I might be wrong on that, but. So yeah, I'm trying to go for like a very wet soil path. So I'm like very committed to the Shockstock approach right now. But this is ice, and that's cool too. That's a really fortunate cleansing was this ice patch here. Super helpful. But look at that. I mean, even so, they almost got through there. I mean, I don't have a lot of muscle here, so I was like, at this point, strategizing, going, well, I probably need a Thorny here or something just to help reduce the influx on the bottom. I'm debating if I have get this to be wet and see that path. So it's like 3 that are wet. And I've got Conductor up, so it's going to be pretty nasty, especially when they're all slow down here. You can see Shockstock, like right here is a dead point, and I get Blast Wort doing Splash, so this is like a killer point right there. Alright, I got a red fragment that's going to be Thorny and Fire Flower, so I was like, I was debating Fire Flower. I normally wouldn't pick them up, but this is actually, I think, the run where I learned how darn effective Fire Flower is at stopping repair. Okay, this has got a little bit of a scary, this is probably the scariest first wave, in my opinion. These stupid things. What are they called? The repair golems? Or the auto menders, I think. Yeah, auto menders, they are a little sneaky. If you don't do enough damage, they're gonna end you. Okay, but I pushed them into the ice tile, and I have 2 Blast Worts, and that's a pretty solid setup. Now, I like to tend to cleanse here, but not always. So why I do that is so when I water, boom, boom, I'm watering both of these. I'm just maximizing that water. So now I have 2 Splash Blast Worts at level 2, and that is brutal for the top. Like, there's no way they're getting through this. Close, but there's no way they're getting through. I got an Acid Patch here, too, which is crazy. That's going to... Enemies with the Sour Patch are going to be more prone to getting damaged. They take more damage, basically, is how it works. You can also put a plant there, and it'll apply acid stacks to the enemy. I believe I used that at the end. I'm going for the full Shockstock Conductor approach, so I'm all about it. That Sour Patch is really nice. Helps. It helps. It would certainly help me on that run. Because this Blastwort's not in the best spot. Like, he's not even helping out down here. So at some point, I believe I try to route them up this way to get this Blastwort more involved. I might also go for a watering here, because that would be a really juicy watering. It's like all 4 of these plants. This guy's still wet because the soil, because of the being near a water tile. Okay, Aquafern is leveling up, blocking there. I got the Fire Flower involved because I got Auto Menders and Repair Golems. Just watch that, how they don't really repair, because that burn effect lingers, and if they keep taking damage, they don't get a chance to repair. So watch that. Like, you don't see them repair at any point here, which is incredible. It's super helpful because the repairing is nasty. That made that such a breeze, just that little extra bit there. Otherwise, they would have been healing here. At this point, I've always blocked this off. I don't like them going this way, but I need to move Aquafern up here, which is no cost. And then I block this. Forces them to go the long way. I always do that. It's served me quite well. Now here, I'm trying to figure out pathing. Like, I kind of want them to go through the acid patch. So I might have Gerber come up here or something to push them up. I'm not sure. I'm struggling with the fact that, okay, well, I want them to be, if I pause here, what I'm debating here is I want them as a small thing, but I want them to go, I'm trying to put this here so I push them up into the shock stocks. If I don't do that, they walk along this way and they dodge the shock stocks, which is terrible. I'm trying to get the shock stocks involved, so I'm keeping that here, but I'm also debating going, well, it'd be kind of nice to bump them up this way, but the acid patch is quite crucial. So I believe I ultimately settle with keeping them going through acid patch. Yeah, this guy was kind of the hidden gem here. Look at all that. The double damage is now in effect with the Dark Creeper. You get the Shock Stocks pretty highly leveled. We got 2 level 5 Blastworts. So now I'm debating. So what I just did there is, I'll rewind that. I got the Thorny onto the... So I put a thing there, Thorny here, and moved them. So now the Thorny, because it's the last wave, he's going to die after this. But he's sacrificing himself for the team. He's going to be applying acid stacks to enemies every time he hits, and he's a fast attacker. So I'm checking up his attack speed. I'm putting Conductor on this guy, so every attack in this area, they're all going to be getting blasted. So it is nasty. There's a lot of guys, and they're just getting ripped up. So that was a really satisfying run. Again, I don't know if I actually make it through the whole thing here. On this run, I might have I think I just lumped this whole recording together. I just kept going. All right, so let's take a second to look at our composition of what I'm doing there. So I generally get Temas. I try to go for like 3 Temas. You also have to decide what you get for artifacts. So what did I get that last bit there? Okay, so I got Muscle Brancher Dreadwood, not really the strategy I'm going for here. You can see, yeah, I have no Dreadwoods. I'm going Shock Stocks, Blastworts. I'm very like high range repertoire. I got 1 Dark Creeper. I probably want to get another one at some point. I have 2 Thornies and a Fire Flower because I have a red fragment and an Aquafern. So you kind of have to sometimes dictate like, oh, okay, you have a blue fragment. You might want to get a bit more Ice Thistles and Sapweeds because that energy savings is quite nice. So I'm factoring that in. But I've been, again, going heavy Shock Stock, and then I went... What else did I get there? So I got another Fire Flower, because again, that's free. If there's a Magma Tile, it doesn't cost me anything with the red fragment. And I got another Tema. It's a pretty neat composition. Now, I might croak on this level, I'm not sure. Because I think when I play through and I win, it's about an hour. Gerbu can clean house there. You saw he pretty much needed no help there because I'm pushing them into the Magma Tile. He does a little bit, so you do want something there to help you. But I'm really trying to emphasize, let's get Aquafern leveled up. let's get these 2 patches watered. Even if I don't have anything here this round, it'll at least be watered still for the next round. And then I need to shift my priority up here. I try to get them to go through here, because again, if you get Gerberu kicking and they're going through this, like it vaporizes most enemies. So I try to do that. I'm getting him on splash. Getting Tema there. Why? Well, I'm going to get extra energy because he'll get leveled up. But you'll see he'll clean up a lot. This guy, the Brood might actually kill me here. I can't remember. There you go. Right. Brutal. Brutal. I was not happy at this point. I was debating, like, do I just try it a bit more? But then I think I ended up just restarting. I can't remember. So we'll skip ahead here. See what we're doing. Yeah, I think I started taking more damage. I was, like, not caring so much at this point. No, I think I keep going, huh? Yeah, I think I'm just messing around to see, like, how the shock stocks stack up. Oh, I get an ice tile. Get them going through the ice tile. That's sometimes what I'll do, is have them go through the ice tile. And they hold up pretty well here. The blast words here carry a ton of weight. But yeah, I mean, what I found how I found that interesting is that they don't have any big muscles. So I think for my next run, I go, well, maybe I need Dreadwoods and shock stocks. Yeah, so I'm doing a 3rd attempt here. And I'll do 4x just to really speed through it. But yeah, now you can see I'm doing Dark Creepers, Blast Warts still. I went with a very dynamic mix there. Okay, this is kind of a bit more of my traditional setup. I'm using, again, it depends on the blight cleansings I get, but if I'm going for blight cleansings, I try to get like here or here, but I've always found it just helpful to get them going through magma. So this is my more traditional approach to this map, where I'm gonna force the blight brews to walk all the way around. So you'll get to see that. But yeah, I'm just emphasizing Thorny again. What I found interesting in a lot of the final levels is that there wasn't a heavy use of Thorny. So if we go back to here, Victor had no Thornies on the victory lap. Dariel had none. And Fruity had a couple on the left. So I was like, I think I saw Fruities and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I can do some Thornies. I do love Thorny. So, because my whole issue was the shock stock, again, they're randomly attacking, whereas Thorny's very deliberate. So, diversity of plants, I think, is really pretty essential. You're also kind of dependent on the RNG. Like, are you getting good fragments? That was the recording. I was checking something. Okay, so that's a long trip for the Blight Brutes. So let's see what happened there. I lost my Blast Word and my Dark Creeper. So I'm going to try to get them back. And I do. So I immediately recoup them, which is nice. You don't always get that. This is all random. I picked up another Dreadwood. So I'm committing to that Shock Stock Dreadwood approach. Now I'm kind of debating, do I want another Shock Stock? I do ultimately take it. You're going to see my tried and true. This time I don't have a Tema available, so I'm actually doing Shock Stock first. The Dreadwood could have also been valid there, but I'm going for the fact that the Shock Stock has range. I didn't know where my Blight Cleansing would be, but I got a really nice Blight Cleansing here. So I'm able to scoop up all those guys on double damage. I wouldn't ordinarily want this guy right on the, like, peninsula, so to speak, where he's right on the tip, but it's really good for this at this point because I don't have the ability to increase the radiance. Now that I can radiance the Dark Creeper, I'm going to be able to spread out that +1. So you can see I pulled him back and I put Thorny in the ideal spot. Got a nice watering in. This is a really solid setup, and Dreadwood's kind of there at the end to help clean up. Now that things are getting more established here, I'm able to push them back this way with the corn pop. I might actually forfeit it here. Let's see. Yeah, I put a shock stock up here to support Oh, let's see. What am I doing? Okay, I pulled. Yeah, I figured out how I can still push them into here so Blastwort can shoot there. I try to keep that if I can. But that was that level. Purple fragment now, so I was like, okay, well, I'll get another Dark Creeper. But what I had in mind at this point was going, well, I probably don't need to. I really like to get in Fruity's position here. Really great spot. Fruity went with the danger zone. Okay, so no, the armored, which is really nice because this is a really short inlet. It's incredible that I would have loved to see the video of the Mega-Splime, because that is an insanely rapid path in, and the fact that he survived that is I'm really pretty amazed by it because it's so short. It's such a short run, but super powerful. Whereas when I had Blastworts, I had level 5 Blastworts, and they like got. I think it's part of it too is like the convergence of the various paths, and if the timing is not great, you get a bunch of guys in front of the Mega-Splime and it distracts the Blastworts. So I would have loved to have seen how everything congealed here. I'm guessing all the enemies kind of congealed, and so Mega-Splime was getting hammered by the Blastworts. Alright, so I'm going that 2 Dark Creeper approach for now. Oh, actually, what did I do there? Yeah, I picked up a Dreadwood. Okay, Dreadwood's really good on this run because he'll wipe up those auto menders. Now I'm debating, like, do I get them going through the ice? I found that getting them going through the ice is really helpful. It gives a bit more time. Like, look at Dreadwood, so clutch there. Because Gerbu cannot do that on his own. I found if you don't get a Shock Stock up here, or a Blastwort, you can do a Thorny. Thorny is very powerful up here. You just want to make sure you're helping. Make sure they're getting leveled up. Now I got this tile here, which totally stinks. I may still end up watering that Thorny, though, just to get that going. Splash damage all day, every day. +6 damage. Love it. Actually, I might have done... Which one did I do for him? I might have done the 100% damage. Yeah, I did do Cranky because... Why? Well, first point of contact. Now, I did some testing at one point. It's truly less than 100%, not less than or equal to. I took a hit there. It didn't work out so well. Let's see what actually happened there. Yeah, just not enough strength. I kind of overextended on Blight Cleansings. I think I did 2 Blight Cleansings, and it totally messed me up. I would have ideally probably gone... Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I think that was silly. I should have gone here. I should have done Corn Pile, and forced these guys to go around Dreadwood. That probably would have been the only difference I needed to make. Because those brutes, I think, the brutes came out of here, and it was way too rapid. Like, Dreadwood didn't have time to help out there. Whereas if they went this way, it was one hit. So that was kind of a goof up on my part. I picked the wrong level. There, you see, I was just like constantly going. I was like trying to beat it. But I liked the strategy, so you can see I picked all the same stuff pretty much. I did throw in a Fire Flower there. Okay, this is again my more traditional approach. I'm just gonna go. I can do 8x. Just to really rip through this again. I think we've talked about this one ad nauseum, so I'll just do 8x so you can see the setup. But those blight brutes going all the way around. Super effective. Okay, so let's slow it down here. So we got Ice Thistle. I'm trying to get some slowdown. I'm doing 2 Shock Stocks. I'm getting a Dreadwood involved. And I'm getting a Blast Sword. I did lose my Thorny, I believe, and my Blast Sword, it looks like. So I'm just recouping that. I don't know if I had a Thorny. What did I have? I lost Blast Sword and Dreadwood. Okay, but I'm able to recoup them both. So I do. I also pick up a nice Thistle and a Shock Stock. Okay, I'm gonna go down south again. I find this way more consistent victories here. All right, again, this nothing crazy here. I'm gonna 8x this just to rip through it. Here, I'm not focused so much on Conductor. I'm kind of abandoning that and kind of putting more emphasis on Dreadwood. I might still go for it there. I might still have it in mind here. I think I'm trying to do it there, but I'm not going to force it. So that was already the end of the level. Let's just quickly see. I got a green fragment, so that's going to be Tema Herb and the Aqua Fern. I don't actually get either in my catch. I probably would have picked one or two up. I definitely would have picked up a Tema, but they didn't give it to me, so I ended up going with a Dreadwood and my second Dark Creeper. Because I'm trying to, in this approach, probably go for like 3 Dreadwoods, akin to what, let's see. Oops, sorry, I added something. There we go. Akin to what Victor did here with 3 Dreadwoods and that winning. I was like, I'm gonna try something along that approach. Okay, now the Fire Flower here is really cool. I'm gonna slow it down here because we've seen, this is probably, I find this to be the toughest level, other than the final level. I don't find the level 4 to be that hard, generally, because it's so open and I'm more comfortable with pathing. This level can get real tricky, or I'm just like a bit too haphazard and flippant about it, but now I'm being a lot more conscientious about these guys getting punished, so I push them up into the Shock Stock, and I'm getting a Blast Sword there. Not with Splash, it's a little scary, but you see even there, I had to jump over to stop that Blight Brute. But this is a really cool setup, so you can see I got Conductor, and I have crazy setup here, and double damage, so like this I feel really confident about. I think I might still put something up here to support, but Shock Stock should be able to take care of all this. The one risk here is Shock Stock can hit down here. I might sneeze. There it is. There it is. Okay, so the one potential risk I'm talking about with Shock Stock is Shock Stock can hit here and here, right? Because they have 2 range, and he hits something randomly. Okay, so he's going to hit something. These are his hit zones. All right, with that 2 range. So what you're looking at is, assuming each tile is full of an equal number of enemies, just hypothetically, it's a 66% chance he hits something up here. Since these are water and these are wet, anything that gets struck here, they all get hit. But if he hits something down here, these guys aren't getting hurt, so there is a risk there. So I put the basic seed here, but we're going to see on double damage, and that's watered. It'll be lingering. The double damage will linger outside of the zone. The Shock Stock lights them up. So you can see the top there just getting vaporized. Now I'm working on patching this up like I always do. Get these guys. I'm just trying to maximize that. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm doing 1, 2. So I have still a corn pile available to me to be somewhere else. Pushing them up. So again, it's kind of, for this wave, not a concern. I was like, yeah, get Shock Stock involved. Helps, right? Level 5 Dreadwood, awesome. Blast Sword on Splash, awesome. If you can get that, Wonderful. Now I'm that was even on double damage, which is insane. So I'm trying to get that Dark Creeper fully ranged. I kind of extended into it quite a lot to get this guy up to 3 radiance, but now I have enough radiance where these are getting lit up like Christmas. Boom. So that was a success. I got another green, and I got a Tema, and I'm like, Aquafern? Yeah, why not? Because I know for this level there's a water tile, so I'm going to put that Aquafern down, get energy from it, because there's 2 greens, these stack. So you'll actually get 2 energy when you drop a Tema. Because it's free, you don't get 1 energy when you drop an Aquafern. This is a really solid setup. You can see I did that same pattern. I found a very constant pattern for the first 2 waves, where I can really focus on watering and leveling up. I'm actually, okay, I move a Dreadwood there. You know why? Because remember last time I got burned with that dumb brute. So I'm like, all right, Blight Brute, you want to play? Let's go. Because he's going to clean up most of the little guys. The Blight Brute kind of sneaks by, and then the Dreadwood's like, boom, smacks him. Now I'm trying to focus on Blight Cleansing. I'm trying to find my singular entry point. That's a high priority for me. Is can I create a single inlet while maximizing my very scattered army? Put them on magma. I was like, why not? It's a free planting. Actually, no, it isn't for this round. I don't have a red fragment, so I take that back. But I figured it'd be helpful. So I'm just slowly carving out a path that maximizes exposure. Gets Blastwort hitting everybody. That was really what I was trying to emphasize, because this is probably my strongest ally. He's going to be really good. You see, he's cleaned up. The burning helped a lot there, too. And you can see on that last level too. Oh no, yeah, they actually didn't. They were avoiding the magma. It's helpful with Gerber if you don't use them a lot. Like at the beginning of a level, just like, you can see I just kind of moved them away, so I can like validly assess the whole situation. See, I just jumped them up here, clear out the cleansings and the corn piles, and see what you have for cleansings, and then you can always hop back in. I'm trying to force these guys to not go. So you can see I'm forcing them to go all the way around if I can. I'm debating that right now. Do I have the bottom left go up this way, or do I have them go around this way? So I ultimately have them go this crazy path around by just blocking this. So I was really happy with that setup. This is brutal. Brutal. It's probably one of my better setups. Again, it depends on your blight cleansings and whatnot, but this is nasty, because these guys have such a long trip, and they're walking all the way around. These ones have a shorter trip, but you're taking care of these guys before these guys even get there. And just extending, spaghettifying the whole line of enemies is really nice, because you're spreading it out, so your team can kind of not have to eat the elephant in the beginning. Alright, so what happened there? I think I discarded a couple. So at this point, it's getting pretty critical. If we're going into the secret level, we're deciding, okay, what do I not need for the secret level? Well, I know there's no water tiles. I know there's no fire tiles or magma tiles, so I don't need those 2. Out of everything I want for my team, those 2 are the 2 I don't want. So you can see my team is pretty robust. I have 3 Shock Stocks, 2 Dreadwoods, 2 Temas, Ice Thistle, Dark Creeper, and Blastwort. What I'm going to be looking at here is, well, I have 2 green fragments. That Tema is looking real juicy. I did throw the Aquafern away, but I'm okay with that. I was hoping for a Tema, and guess what? I'm going to pick that Tema. It's probably the first thing I grab. Ooh, no, I go for the Blastwort. But Blastwort, yeah, I actually definitely do, because I only have 1 Blastwort at this point. So Blastwort's clutch, Tema's clutch. I probably want another slow thing. I only have 1 Ice Thistle. I have no Sapweeds. I'll probably pick up that Sapweed and maybe another Blastwort. A Thorny could be cool too, though. I might end up going with a Thorny. I don't know what I do. Okay, so Sapweed, and then... Oop, I didn't see what I grabbed. Yep, I go for another Blastwort. So I was going into that with only 1. So this catch was really nice. Gave me a Tema, 2 Blastworts. The Sapweed's kind of a nice to have. And then it worked out. They gave me a blue fragment. I was like, well, that works. I have a Sapweed and Ice Thistle. So the fragment composition worked out really quite well. it is a wonderful complement to my plants. Because the yellow is shock stalks and I believe blastworts. I believe the orange is the muscle branch and the dreadwood. So I'm pretty much being able to drop most of my plants at a discount. Okay, so here's a critical thing here. When you start out, I was debating in the beginning my blight cleansings. Because if you look at most of the approaches taken, it's kind of this upside down V. But it's a very symmetrical map. Alright. So Victor had that kind of consistent approach of the upside down V. You can also see Daryl's victory, upside down V. Fruity's was very unique. I think this one is upside down V kind of approach here, but the right hand side I was just so amazed by this. It's so cool. It's just very open. It's just an open mouth. But I was like, it's not necessarily that I have to be an upside down V. I can be a regular V. It's going to depend on your cleansings. And so I'm looking here and going, well, this is kind of up against the wall. I don't necessarily want that. I kind of want to cleanse something here. And I already had in mind that I wanted to put a Dark Creeper here because I saw that done from the others. So I'm starting to plan out. My initial idea here was I was going to do something like this. But as you'll see with other cleansings, it kind of started to change my decision. I'm debating right now where do I put Dark Creeper based on me having a kind of a top left V here instead of the down V. I was like, do I still want this here? I ended up saying yes, I do. Now that's all you really need for this run. I don't think I get hurt here, but I had to be really. Let's watch that again. I had to be super careful with my. It was a little terrifying. If I didn't do Gerberu correctly, I would have gotten hurt. So watch this. And again, this is minimal, like very minimal. I did a cleansing. I dropped a Dark Creeper. Did a basic seed. So that's 5, right? It's only at 5. Because if you look back, I had no Tema herbs. If I had Temas, I probably would have emphasized watering them. But I didn't get that, so I had to just make do with this. So if you watch, basically he's helping, but then Gerberu gets overwhelmed here. I have to be really careful how I jumped here. So I jumped to follow them, and then I tried to jump back up. And then I followed them again. I was a bit sloppy there, but it could have been sharper, but if I didn't do anything, they would have come through. So you can have Gerberu kind of like follow them. Here I'm starting to go, okay, well, I want to start to expand that zone. I'm not going with the danger zone. You could, but you have to decide what your composition is. My composition is heavy Dreadwood, and I know I'm going to put a lot of Dreadwoods on the right. Just the composition of the enemies, all the armored guys are on the right side of the map. There's no armored guys on the left. There's repair guys and stuff, and shield guys, but there's no repairs on. Which I know there are auto repair guys on the left, but there's certainly shield guys. I found you don't need heavy muscle on the left. It wouldn't hurt, but I find the blastworks with splash are really effective. And if you look at the others who've done this, well, again, I like Fruity setup. It's so unique. It's so unlike the other ones I've seen. But yeah, there's a muscle branch next to a Rugi, so that's dealing out some serious damage, and you're on double damage. So that'll certainly work. And I think Thorny's great. If you look here, 3 blastworks on the left. That was a victory. This is a victory. 4 blastworks on the left. Kind of a difference in level. Really 2 strong ones. Okay. There's 1 Dreadwood here. Now I had done a run where I had a Dreadwood on each side, and I think it would have been better if I had a Dreadwood on the right hand side. I'll show you that defeat video so you can see that composition. I won't show you the whole video because we've been going for a while here, but I'm trying to get that Tema watering because that'll give you more energy next round. And you can see when I planted it, it's so awesome. So let's rewind this. So I do the +1 zone. And then my goal is get them coming through here. Because that's what this is dictating to me. And the blight cleansing is right there. That's a perfect blight cleansing spot. So I take it. That's a nice cleansing. So I can go boom, boom. Now in retrospect, I probably would have done boom, boom, and not put Tema here. I ended up putting Tema here, and that's kind of a critical spot for fighting. So in retrospect, I probably would have put Tema down here and watered across this way. Not to mention it would have watered 2 spots here. So that was, I think, a blunder on my part. It ended up working out. I barely won this. But that probably almost cost me the game. I didn't need to put that there, right? Like, it wasn't changing any routing. I just kind of, in my limited perspective here, I just kind of saw, oh, I'll put him right adjacent. I really should have gone across. Absolutely should have. I'm thinking about that now. Now I'm like, well, I'll put Gerber here to squish him against Dreadwood. Gerber's in a pretty good spot, though, for this wave. The only problem, though, is that double damage zone isn't super far. I'm not at that +2 yet. I'm also like, really wanting to not get hurt here, because if I get hurt, I'm not going to get that radiance, that extra radiance. So I'm kind of debating, do I spend that radiance? Because it's the trade-off. If I spend a radiance, I have 1 less radiance, but it might give me that radiance because it stopped me from getting hurt. But I was like, you know what, I think we'll be fine. And I believe it turns out we are fine on this level. I'm trying to get Gerber involved to help out there at the end. Did we actually get hurt here? Oh, so close. Yeah, Gerber had to be. I'm trying to maximize him here. Oh, Dreadwood saved the day there. So close. Okay, but you see the pathing I'm already starting to think about is, again, longer term, I'm kind of thinking, at this point, I was thinking this. That was like my ideal path. And then on this side, something like that. I was getting pretty excited about the left-hand side because of this setup. It's a really cool cleansing. I just, again, put that Tema in a stupid spot. I should have lined up Temas here because they're not. I guess what I was trying to do, though, at the same time, was try to keep Shock Stocks and Blastworks here so that when enemies are walking along this way, and especially Mega-Splime who comes out here, they're meeting some heavy artillery right here, right off the bat. Now, granted, this won't be in this will not be in the double damage zone, but it's part of my rationale for Tema Herb here. But now I'm trying to play with the routing going. So let me see what I think I just had a cleansing. Yeah, I had a blight cleansing. Try to clear up some more of this. Because I'm trying to block here. And it's like, yeah, that was a decent one, right? I mean, the stone, it allows me to block a bit more. So I can do something like that and get them wrapping around. I'm just debating my options. You have to be really careful about spending, because if you have to like kind of be pretty committed to what you're going to do and then start spending. If you change your mind partway through, it could totally mess you up. And then I think at some point I'm like, okay, I got this side a good plan, but let me think about the right hand side. Are we going to be good there? And so I definitely stop and go, well, okay, let's get the +2 zone radiance. That's going to be clutch. So I don't know if I plant this seed quite yet. Let's see. I might be worried about the right hand side. Oh, I do. Okay, so I go for that. Yeah, because I really do need something here. Like Gerberu could hang out here, but he needs help. Even though I'm in double damage. So I put 1 down. I'm starting to think about, I think, the right hand side, what I'm going to do there. So speed it up a little bit. Just thinking about pathing. Okay, so I got the Blast Sword down, splash, that'll be huge. But I only have 3 energy left, so I have to think about pathing. So now I'm debating, do I create a more windy path, or do I put a plant down? I also want to do a watering. So you can see what I did there. I had the Tema, so that got me, I went down to 2 energy, and it put me back up to 4. So awesome. In your case, you might have a different fragment. You have to weigh out maybe planting one of those to get some energy. Because that what that let me do is incredible. Let me put down a shock stock and water. And I water the Temma. This Temma is still watered, so I'll have 2 extra energy next wave. And that actually lets me spend something over here. Push this guy up into shock stocks territory. So I was pretty happy with this setup. I don't know if I end up getting bleeding out here. The one scary part is Gerber is not involved in the right. So yeah, it takes a hit on the right, which is really crummy. But I had to block this. So unfortunately, I took 6 damage there, which robbed me of 1 radiance. My path on the right's coming together. I was going for a cleansing. I was trying to get a bit more here, but also just trying to clear soil because I did have in mind the conductor. But it's getting more and more out of sight now because of me taking damage. But it was certainly on my mind. What I was really starting to also need to prioritize is I have 2 Blastworts. I need to start getting those guys watered. I was seeing that as a very, very intense priority at this point. So I'm starting to think also about how do I get more Blastworts on the map ASAP. Now I'm like thinking about my pathing. I'm still committed to getting this path around this way. I'm still very committed to that if I can. And so it is kind of shaping up. But the challenge is I have so much of Gerberu I need committed here to make that possible. So I'm like, ooh, I really kind of want to do this one. But then that Blight Cleansing was terrible. Because what I was hoping for was that it would have given me this one maybe. Or this one. Or this one. Like, give me one of those and you can see it just like slap me in the face. It's like, nah, I'm going to give you these 2. And it's like... I think it freed up some once. Yeah, it freed up way down here. It's just like, okay. And then I started going, well, maybe I send them down this way. Because the ice is really, really key. But that really was like the worst cleansing of this level for me. It really made me seriously have to rethink my strategy. But then I was like, you know what? I need to get Blastworks leveled up. Like, that is absolute priority now. I tried a Blight Cleansing. Fine, be that way. I'm going to have to just jack up my Blastworks. I have no Radiance left. Okay, I used it to squeeze out a bit more energy. I did a +1 energy on that to get that to happen. But this ended up making the left-hand side really strong because I'm in wave 4. So these guys will be level 4 by the end. By the final wave. This guy's kind of getting neglected, but can't do much about that. And I got the Temma. These 2 Temmas watered. I could not get this guy watered, unfortunately, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so no armor. You guys aren't getting. There's no armor reduction, but this Dreadwood is killing it. Absolutely killing it. So I didn't take damage there, which was huge. I got 2 Radiance for that. Clearing out my corn pile, seeing what I have for cleansings. I'm trying to patch up, as you can see here. Would love to patch that up. Didn't get exact cleansings I wanted, but I got 1, which is nice. And I put a Dreadwood there. A watering. Again, I want to get that Temma watered. I probably want to get these 2 watered as well. I am out of energy, though. But I think I end up spending a Radiance to get 1 more watering. We'll see. Debating it right now, I think. I think I'm thinking about the pathing on the left-hand side. Yep. Because I need Gerbu here and here, so I'm starting to figure out where do I definitely need Gerbu. Like, that would be a cool path, but this is a problem. This is a problem. So I'm trying to figure out how do I like get by on the left-hand side for now, and hopefully I can pick a better path later, because I'm just out of energy. So I think I go, okay, I definitely need to go here. I definitely need to go here. So I might actually let the right-hand side do its thing here. I'm not sure. All right, so what did I just do there? I put a sapweed to slow down. Okay. Oh yeah, because I recognize that's free. So I said, why not? Because I have 1 blue fragment. I'm trying to see what path works. Let's try to like, figure out the path. Yeah, because it's like, well, I don't want them going in from the bottom left like this. But it's like, there's a hole here, but you know what? I think I end up being okay with this hole because it's still a pretty nasty path. They're gonna hit 2 Dreadwoods, and I'm going, well, upper right's repair golems. They're gonna struggle. So I think I end up keeping it this way. Yeah, and the sapweed, I was like, well, maybe it'll slow things down. It's about as good as a setup as I can ask for here. Okay, so these guys should not get too far. This side's a little scary on the left, but these guys are huge too. So I end up jumping to the right. The left-hand side's got it. I was pretty surprised by that. This side struggled. Brutal, because I almost had that. And that was tough because if you had the armor thing there, that would have been a breeze, but you also wouldn't have the range. It would be just, oh, it'd be out to here, I suppose. But I took a beating on that round. Dread was going to keep up. And the Blastoids weren't doing splash or anything. Not that they would have done a whole lot of damage to them, but still. Alright, so I wasn't really commentating on this recent round here. So now I'm trying to patch up. Can I get that ideal path all the way around? Yes or no? This is the Blight Cleansing of the Century here. It's amazing. Not a lot, right? Let's back that up. So you can see it's 4 purples. So it cleared up these 3. But look at that. This saved me. You'll see. But it saved me. I didn't have enough slowdown on the left. But that is key. And guess what? All the Blastoids are there hitting. Not this one, but that also allows me to patch that up. So I'm putting Gerbrew where I definitely need him. Boom and boom. And then I'm deciding, okay, well, I also want to go here. And then I can use a basic seed there. That was my decision there. So now I really love the paths. I mean, look at this pathing. So cool. Moves up and around. And again, it's fine that these guys have a quick path. It's like, because they're going to be coming in quick. Your guys will start working on them. These guys have a really long path. Okay, so it spreads out the enemies. Same deal here. Very, still a pretty nasty path. He's not going in this way. He's going all the way around. But these guys have to go like 2 turns, 2 hairpin turns. Okay, so it's all about spreading them out. Definitely helped these 2 Dreadwoods have their work cut out for them. Because look at that, I don't have any Blastoids on the right. I have Dreadwoods. And that's what kind of, in the shock stocks, and that's what kind of impressed me about the setup here is just 1 Blastoid, level 5 splash. But I think I was really inspired by this setup here from Victor. 3 Dreadwoods. Level 5 Blastoid. So I was kind of being pretty, I think it's a pretty novel setup things. I guess all of them had, yeah, I guess they all had Blastoids involved. That was a defeat one. Jerry had 1 level 5. Fruity had a level 5 and a level 2 and another level 5 here. So I guess, yeah, looking at this, this is kind of, I don't know if I end up moving a Blast Orb. I don't think I do. I think I end up putting out the Shock Stock or something. So it's kind of crazy that it worked out. There's 3 Temas. Like, there isn't a whole lot here, but I think the pathing was what saved me on the right. Yeah, I ended up moving the Shock Stock over because I don't have any energy left. So I was like, well, I guess I'll put you here. You'll get leveled up. You're going to be more effective than a basic seed. So this is it. This is the setup. I have nothing left to do. You can see I didn't mention it, but I did Companion. Okay. And I put Gerburu right in front of him. So that's really cool. Right, because Gerburu's going to be doing quadruple damage. He does 6 per kick. I forget how many attacks he does. I think he does like 3 attacks per second. I could be wrong. It's like 2 or 3 or something. He's a pretty fast attacker. But every kick is going to be doubled, so 12, and then doubled again, so 24 damage per kick. And you'll see he actually gets some good kicks on the Mega-Splime. I got this Ice Thistle ended up being very prime. I was more so to slow down stuff coming this way, but the added benefit is it's slowing down this stuff too, which also saves me. Everything added up to like just allow me to barely win this. I'm coming into this with 82, like it's not bad. And then on the left-hand side, it's just Blast Words. It's just, that's enough. The left-hand side is pretty strong. You're going to see the Mega-Splines put up a fight, but everything else gets pretty vaporized. I also like the Dark Creeper range. Getting here, incredible. Double damage here, double damage all through here. That's why I love this spot. All right, so we're going to I'm going to slow this down actually quite a bit because I want to see the gory details. Do like half speed. I'll do 1/3 speed so you can just see it in slow motion. Oh, that audio is terrible. That lightning slow down sounds terrible. Let me just mute that for you. I'm still hearing it. It's terrible. Let me go back. I'll do half speed. Okay, so you have your different enemies coming out. Light Devils. I think those are shield drones or nullifiers. I can't remember. Double Splimes. They're sneaky. Right-hand side, you got a lot of armored guys coming out of the bottom right. I think those guys might have come out of... But I think it's helpful to understand like what's actually coming out because it just says all kinds of enemies. You don't really know what's going to hit you. But what you can see is like Splimes. Looks like a Magma Crawler coming out of there. Yep. Just regular Splimes here. So they're kind of running. They're streaming through quickly. That's what I found to be problematic. These like there's Splimes throughout on the right-hand side. And the Blastworks can get distracted by those and divert the fire away from the big guys that are behind. A lot of armored guys coming in, the brutes coming in. They can converge with the Mega-Splime, so it's really scary. But you can see these stupid Splimes are coming out where the Mega's gonna come out. Up here, you got some double Splimes. They can sneak through, but I find like the left-hand side is just significantly easier from a raw enemy perspective. That guy is getting some hits off. I just realized that. That's cool. But we have the auto menders coming in. So yeah, there are repair guys on that side. This is where it gets terrifying. Okay, so all those, I think they're Armosaurs. They're coming in. See, the Armosaurs or Armadons. The big ones are pretty scary. They're coming in hot. And so we end up vaporizing a lot of them, but these guys end up, I think, barging through. Just don't have enough. Okay, only one came through there. Magma Crawlers, double Splimes. But again, the splash damage is so powerful over here. So they get pretty wiped out. Mega-Splime's now out. You can see Mega-Splime's there. And look at this density. Absolutely insane. So you can see the Splimes are coming out too. On the bottom, those guys have messed me up. Again, depending on where your inlet is, but they can converge, and so you have this huge stream in front of Mega-Splime. Right, that's where a Blast Ward on the right can be helpful. Now I have Shock Stocks instead. I never ultimately got the Conductor ability. That would have been pretty powerful here, but I ran out of Radiance. And again, those Armored guys are giving me some grief because the Dreadwoods just have too much work cut out for them. Like, they're overwhelmed by the volume. Left-hand side is doing great. Bigger guys coming out. But you can see that we're holding up. But that guy, I think, actually comes through. It just hurts. But we can see I was getting nervous here because this stinking guy's at 486. So I'll kind of play slowly. You can see where he starts to take damage because this is really, at the end of the day, if you can beat this first Mega-Splime, you have a decent shot at the rest of it. I find the first Mega-Splime the hardest because of how many enemies, how big his entourage is. But you can see 486. Because why? Well, there's nothing. He's in a whole slew of enemies. Dreadwoods obviously are occupied on this. So they're not paying attention to that. The Temas might hit him. So they're getting occasionally hit. Okay, the Shock Stock might have randomly hit him. The Tema might have hit him. But there's actually a nice opening right here. It's clutch because it starts to clear. And guess what? The Dreadwoods are going to start to pay attention. The Gerberu is going to get some kicks in. So watch Gerberu. Boom, boom, boom. Dreadwood gets a hit off. 272, so we're getting close. This guy is going to start paying attention to him next. Boom, right there. Big hit. I think he gets one more off. Boom, clears him. Clears him. So that Dreadwood, the opening and the timing of everything worked out where the Dreadwood could go, okay, I'm focused on you. But it was only after that whole stream of Slimelings came in before. Whereas on other setups I've had, those Slimelings converged with Mega-Splime, and Mega-Splime got to like here, like 1 or 2 tiles away, pretty much full health. So there was enough of a clearing in the the clouds for Dreadwood to do some work there. He has a level 5 Dreadwood on double damage, and if he's hurt, he's going to be doing double or triple damage. So it's insane amounts of power. And this Blast Ward also was clutch here. So I don't really technically have a Blast Ward on the right, but this one's helping to really clean up at the end there. Because these guys are cleaning up. These 2 level 4s are really helping out for most of it. So this level 4 actually helped a lot on the right. Okay. Now, boom. We have 2 Mega-Splimes coming in. Now, did I miss the other one? I might have missed the other one already. Yeah, I did. Let's go look at this guy now. So we already talked about this one, but this one's coming out. So watch him. So again, left side's pretty good. But these Blast Wards are pretty occupied with these. If they can clear these guys out, they'll start working on Mega-Splime. But what's nice is that those Mega-Splime's going to start taking some hits because of the splash damage. And now he's in front. Another one's out. So now we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I didn't even see. There's the Mega-Splime. I didn't see him before. Yeah, he's covered in green. All right, but now we have 3 Mega-Splimes out. But look at the layout. That's what I'm saying. I think the first Mega-Splime's toughest because there's 3 out, but there's not a lot of other stuff around. So these guys are completely focused on him. Sapweed's going to slow him down, and he'll be on ice. But what's scary is that this guy's coming out because of the way I have the mouth faced up here on my inlet. This guy's wrapping around, and just so happens this guy's coming right out after, so he gets pretty far. Very far. And this guy is kind of coming in with these brutes, and that's also terrifying. So they all like, it's tough, man. You can see he's getting wedged in. Okay, so this guy, watch him. We'll keep an eye on him first. So he's getting pummeled because he's next. This guy's going to focus his attention over. But look at this guy. He's coming in. He's getting some splash damage. Great. But he's sneaking in. And then this Ice Thistle. Turn around, dude. Got him. So he froze him. He froze him. That was clutch. But then I was like, no. I thought I lost. I thought I lost. But we killed him. It was like down to the last milliseconds. But let's go back. I want to look at the other one. The second one. So we'll see him come out. More Slimelings are shooting out. Again, it's kind of a problem. Magma Crawler's coming out. Wait for it. He's coming out any second. Okay, so we killed the first one. And now here he comes. Boom. Alright, so keep an eye on this one. So he's coming in with the brutes, and I don't have splash damage. That's where splash damage could be helpful here. But I have Dreadwoods, and Dreadwoods are going to clean house, because all you have now are big guys. Dreadwood can actually handle this, so he's getting pummeled. Dreadwood's getting some great hits off there. Boom. So this one was the most like beat up one. The second and the third one were the most beat up, I would say. The fourth one practically killed me. We just killed him. Just killed him. Because again, that ice tile, if I didn't have that, I would have lost. Absolutely would have. And that was it. Right? Alright, we'll end by just showing you a setup that I did have that didn't win. I'll just show you the last wave because I know this video's been going for a while, but I think it's helpful to see. Like, I had high confidence going into it. Let me get your audio back on the VLC. I'm gonna mute myself here because it's I'll just mute the whole thing because I'll hear myself. Because I'm actually commentating on this one. You can't see me because I'm behind. My current video is behind or in front of the recorded video. But let's just jump to the end here. But the general trend I'm getting in this run was just to set the tone here. I was feeling like everything lined up super well in terms of what the game was giving me. I was commentating here, so I spent like an hour on the final level, being super careful. But yeah, they gave me a 2 greens, 2 yellows, which was insane. And what I was doing at this point, this was the last major attempt before my victory one, was I had tons of Temos, tons of Blastors. I was going heavy Blastort with some Dreadwood. And I was really trying to emulate what was done. Here. Blastorts and like muscle. A Dreadwood on each side. But my right hand side, I was baffled that I lost compared to this one. I was like, oh, this is a good setup. Oh, sorry, that was the defeat one from Victor. This is the victory one from this is the one I was kind of emulating. So a Blastwort, Dreadwood, a Dreadwood, Blastwort. So I was paying attention to like this setup and trying to emulate it. But it doesn't work out. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm just strategizing here. This is where I'm going for the upside down V, and so I think I end up taking this one. I was also trying to get Blastworks to be involved on both sides. I'm just gonna skip ahead a bit here. Just do 4x. So I'm starting to plan out my route. At this point, I didn't do a Dark Creeper like on the tile. I forget where I put them. I think I was kind of going more so for the 2 Dark Creeper approach, which again is going to cost you Radiance. You can do the armor buff Danger Zone, but then you're spending an extra Radiance, so you have to consider that versus maybe a splash on one of your Blastworts. Okay. And here I'm going to have to plan for them to come down and around. So I think I end up blocking this. But I'm trying to plan ahead. Like, I want this Blastwort to come shoot across and have them walk on the ice. Which may have been, I think, a huge help, honestly, if I had ended up going that route. If I had them walk along this way. Yeah, so I start planning to have them walk around. I think I end up forfeiting having everyone go through this ice, because again, it comes down to like I don't have a lot of energy. So I'm trying to get a Tema down, but I'm getting a ton of energy saved by the fact that, like, look at this. Like, these are all free. It's crazy how much I was able to plant by wave 2 in water. I was super spoiled. But the Dreadwood was clutch there. And this Blastwort was helping too at the end. So now, again, I have more Blastworts. I have 5 Blastworts and like 3 or 4 Temas. It's crazy. But I don't have a lot of muscle. I have like 2 Dreadwoods and that's it. So I really needed my 2 Dreadwoods to be on the right-hand side. I ended up splitting them up and it wasn't enough. The left-hand side didn't really need the Dreadwood. As long as you have a good path, right? It won't hurt to have one, I suppose, but you got to survive that first Mega-Splime or you're in trouble. I temporarily put this Dreadwood here just to take advantage of the fact that it's a spot where there was water. So I wanted to get these guys leveled up ASAP. So I was still unhurt. Like, I was really happy with this, everything in this run until the last wave. Now I need to start getting a Dark Creeper down. Because now with the first exposure of an Armadon's here, so I'm trying to figure out where to put the Dark Creeper. I think I end up putting him like here or something. I don't know where I put him. I might go for a cleansing. Yeah, okay. I think I put Dark Creeper around here. The other thing I was trying to figure out too is this is a nice ice patch. I didn't take advantage of it, and I really should have in retrospect. Like, had them go this way, but I was still kind of fixated on the idea of them going downward to my detriment. I think if you get an ice tile, just get them to go through it. Like, that's just a gimme. The game gave me that and I didn't really use it. I think I ended up putting like Dark Creeper on there or something. But that is such a helpful thing to have. So I'm like debating. Skip ahead. Okay, so I was about to skip ahead, but I made a decision. Yeah, so I end up going with the Dark Creepers. I do want to get them, the armored guys, to be weakened. They're coming from the right. Okay. So they're going to be pretty smacked around. So this wave also works well. But long term, it didn't really help me. I should have moved this guy somewhere else. I probably should have put him like right here. That would be what I would do differently. I need to slow them down. But I'm now focusing on the left-hand side, trying to create a pathing. And again, I was trying to emulate what was here. So much so that like really I even moved, I think, some stuff around. But the big thing I have to do is block all this. And it's like, well, I could do 1, 2, 3 in a basic seed. But I also need to be mindful of the right-hand side. But yeah, I do end up doing a cleansing, and that helps me out. It's a really nice cleansing. Like this game, it gave me so much. I think I just made some small decisions that cost me the game. Like I should have had probably both Dreadwoods here, and then going through ice or something like that. The left-hand side, I think, was pretty decently set up. But I didn't live long enough to really see how it would have shaken out. Now I have the Dark Creeper maxed out here. And I think what I end up trying to do is get, again, similar to what they had here, is a Dark Creeper over here, which could work, right? So I end up putting him, I think, right there. I'm also trying to debate, do I want Gerberu to be involved? And if so, do I want a Tema next to him with Companion? So I'm weighing that out as well at the same time. Okay, again, solid round, right? So untouched, 100 HP the entire game. So I'm going in like, all right, I got this. I had high confidence going into this. So when I lost, I was crushed. This is what cost me the game. I was thinking do something like basic seed, Gerberu, move the Dark Creeper down or something. Because it would have slowed down this guy and this guy, but I ended up not doing it. Again, hindsight's 2020. I had 9 out of 6 stinking 8 like energy. I have all the opportunity to win this. But, and I thought the pathing here wasn't bad, but it could have been better. I would have probably done, yeah, and I probably would have done one pellet here, one pellet. Let me show it to you because it's probably hard to see what, I'm just waiting for this. There we go. What I would have done differently is moved this guy out. Okay, I would have moved him here. And that does shift everything down so that even these guys are getting immediately hit. And then I would have moved him out of the way. I don't know where I would have put him necessarily, but I probably would have put him here. And then I would have done, oops. I would have done a basic seed here. All right, and a basic seed here. They gave me those. And then I would have put a corn pile here. And then what would have happened is they would have had to walk around. Because again, if you can get this stinking Mega-Splime to suffer, it's going to help you out. And then they would have had to go like this. And again, that Dark Creeper's gone. So they would have gone this way. And because the reason I moved that Tema, you may be wondering that, is I would have wanted them to go like that. If you don't move Tema, they can't do that. All right. And I would have had to put a corn pile here as well. I had the energy to do this. I did. But it would have cost me 2 corn piles, and I think where I was getting a little stuck was I need 2 corn piles here. But frankly, I probably should have just done a blight cleansing and tried to get something there. I think what I was nervous about was like creating some type of block. Doing a blight cleansing that wrecked me somehow. It's always a gamble, right? There could be some thing you don't want from a blight cleansing, but I think in retrospect it would have been good to do this because Mega-Splime would have come up here. He would have started getting hit by these two. This guy's not so strong. I did kind of want... what I may have also done was move maybe Dark Creeper over here. Well, that would have blocked that. Like maybe just get this Blast Wort down here. Or just put him like over here where this basic seed is. Get this level 4 more involved. Because there's already 2 level 5s on the left. They're pretty much holding down the 4. I get this level 4 more involved in the fight. Bring him over here somewhere. Because if I can get those 2 guys constantly boom, boom, boom. This guy's here and he's slowed down. And then he has to go all the way around. In this setup, he whips right through. And these are all coming through. There's too much coming in at the same time. And I just get trashed. So I'm doing some shimmies at the end here. See, I focused on not that that's necessarily bad, but I was kind of focused on getting Ice Thistle and Sapweed set up, and I think I was focusing on getting Gerberu with companionship. Which again, not a bad thing. Like I think Gerberu could, like I had him here. This is where I wanted the corn pile. I just had to do some maneuvering here, and I think I could have potentially won because I could have put a Tema here or here, and then done companionship with my last Radiance. But I think I end up doing like something else. So yeah, that's where I'm thinking about it right now. I'm trying to figure that out, but I end up abandoning that approach. I end up doing that, and that cost me the game. This is not good. This isn't going to help me. It will, but this is the crucial piece right here. This is the crucial road to fix. So then I'm going, well, I'm going to put Sapweed. I still had the energy, I think, to do it at this point. I could have moved him down. That would have been free. Moved him. I would have planted 1, 2. Yeah, it literally cost me 2. And I had 4 energy still. So even with this Ice Thistle Sapweed stuff, I still had enough energy to do this. But I was trying to do the non-gooped, which isn't a bad thing, but he's overwhelmed. He's overwhelmed. If you get the splash on him, which is the next level 2, then you're talking some business. But that, I would have rather done the companionship with Gerberu in retrospect. But hopefully you're seeing this and figuring out like every little decision you're making is going to determine what happens. Every small decision adds up. So now I'm just doing stupid stuff. I mean, not stupid, but I had, you know, I had extra energy to fix this path, and it wrecked me. So you'll see. Yeah, I'm about to hit go here. Yeah, I'm completely wiped. I have no energy, no radiance left. I spent it on like miscellaneous things. I think I did one more watering too. See, that watering was just kind of excessive. I was doing it so that when they come out of here, they're still on double damage because he's level 1. That is a risk for sure. So I'm not trying to discount that. But I could have just resolved it by moving this guy over. I don't need all this. Just move him over, shift him down here. Or I think I was going to put him here or something. Shift him over. Takes care of it. All right, let's keep going here. Okay. So we'll do half speed here. Oh, I just clicked on that. Sorry. All right, we're back. Okay, so same deal. Got different guys coming out. The dynamic changes in terms of what comes out first. So these guys are kind of leading the pack. These guys are way at the end this time. The brutes and these armored guys are coming in. We're doing pretty good here. I felt pretty good so far. But then this Mega-Splime, watch him. He just sneaks through. These slimelings and all this other stuff, it distracts these blast wars. They're not paying attention to this guy. Look at him. Not even touched yet. Not even touched yet. Now he's starting to get hit, but it's too late. It's too little too late. And it doesn't kill me. He does 80 damage. I was at 94, now I'm at 14. But then all the slimelings, I can't deal with it. So I was crushed there. That was a brutal defeat. So again, with my pathing that I proposed earlier, all those other slimelings would have been a little bit more delayed. But with the fact that they're all like, this is all open, all those slimelings pour in so fast, and it was just too much. And this, you know, I did end up moving this blast sword down to be more involved in the fight, so that's at least good. But I can't have them all coming in this way. They should have wrapped around. And frankly, if I could have had them all go through the ice, would have been kind of cool. That might have also been a viable path. To have them go through 2 ice patches, that probably would have been my best bet. And I would have had to like shift this blast sword down here so they actually come in this way. That could have been good. So I'd say if you get an ice patch or an acid patch or something, like trying to push them into it, it'll probably be a worthwhile investment. Generally, again, you have to look at your setup, your plants, but I found it to be really helpful. All right. So long analysis video. I'll plan to put some chapter markers so you don't have to, if you're trying to jump around at a certain point, you don't have to watch it all, but hopefully you can focus in on the specific level you're struggling with. Generally, I'm seeing that people are struggling with the secret level. So that's my insights into it. I hope it, you got a few nuggets from it. But yeah, if you have questions, just drop a line in the Discord. I don't know how much longer the playtest will be open. It sounds like it's not going to be open that much longer. But I want to get this out in case it's still open. That you wanna try and beat it. All right, that's it.